lose with regards to what, gearbox and the weight of a motor relative to the chassis. So you got one chassis with, you're basically doubling the horsepower. Now the other thing you can do is pump MyVec, and I don't know if these can take 150 shot. So you got 400 brake horsepower with 150 shot and 150 shot at the back. That's 400 plus, that's 700 horsepower in a car that weighs 1,200 kilograms. 700 horsepower, and all you got to do is, and it revs out to 9. It's a race engine, and it can take 150 extra horsepower on top of it just without, it's like a JZ engine. So I'm sitting here in this car and I'm wondering, well, holy heck, I could create a supercar without doing much more than what the boys did by just putting another whole front wheel drive engine bay in the old setup, and then put 2 little bottles of nitrous front and back. So that's the Freedom Factory 500's little plan. Now I notice what Cletus does is he is a great person for sponsorship and having people pay and stuff, and that's just that whole, you know what I mean, that whole American entrepreneurialness. Now this is that new letterbox. No one claimed who made the letterbox, but this is the daughter. Very finely done, so we're very impressed. It's the only letterbox that got changed on the trip. So we're just here and a car comes through, beautiful house bus there, nice 30Ks. Another goat for a... So here we go. So this is where we're coming down to the next location. So they've, Lloyd over here has purchased, I think his name's that, purchased this place, and then they put a road in, gonna do some trucks, some stuff. They got some, you can see down the end there, they've dug out a big you know, roading metal and scraped the dirt to one side, and they're gonna build a truck bay bits and pieces. So down on this end of this road we have our contractor, done some hay. He's done some hay at my place, and they have that little bit at the end there. It's a dairy farmer that lives up there, and this is Joe Howard, the person with the horses. So we just pop a one in here, and you notice the letterboxes are pretty sturdy with a nice water pipe, and we've got 2 more to go. So there's a Cougar Park walkway through here, so people come down here and walk all the time, so that's good. So this is the letter, and as I mentioned in here, there was a video on COVID-19 by Mayor Jenny Shattuck. So hopefully she gets her mail this morning in time, and I get to put my last in. So I know how I've got extra ones. Oh, that's right, I've got a couple more to do on the way back. So this is equine. So put that in there, nice and quiet. Beautiful bit of land developed from Tomo and gully, like well fenced, and supplement the horse feed, and so the lawns always look nice. And so you can see Joe's been out feeding the horses 16 hours a day, 7 days a week, 3 hours picking up the manure. So I wonder how that whistle sounds on my, because it's not a whistle, noise whistle from the not a noise whistle from the camera, it's a noise whistle from the edge of the car. So So these are my last 2 letterboxes. And this one's interesting. See their last name, Newell? So they've actually been here all of that time. So they've actually been 5 generations. So the name of the road has come from this old lady that lives up in here. And she gets her newsletter. And so she reads it. And she keeps informed. So Dr. John Campbell, you need knighted, mate, over in the UK, buddy. We've got to put a knighting on what you're doing. It's been amazing. Global population is reading and learning from your experience, and you're such a humble person because you're a doctor, but you've actually done nursing for 40 or so plus years. What it means is that you actually, when you interact with doctors and stuff, and some doctors are sparkling, the New Zealand doctors, just the knowledge that they gain, they're always learning. Yeah, you just, it's that humility, and that's what the world needs. So we've had sports stars, but man, these nurses in pandemics require a shout out. Okay, well, that's the Freedom Factory 500. That was the tip we just passed. So this is the Freedom Factory when international guests come from all over the world to the Freedom Factory 500 for a bit of a run. This is the road that they'll be traveling up and down, and our turn off for coming into this place is just starting up here. So if we were going to be entering the Freedom Factory and heading up to that hill, we would quietly put our blinker on here, we would turn here, and this is the Freedom Factory Down Under entrance. So here we are, we're at the entrance way there, and as you can see, we head off up there, and there's jumps. You talk about jumping in, boom, and then those hills. And so headquarters is our bus. So because we're grassland and we're down under, I was thinking last night that we do some drifting on grass. So it's going to be an interesting drift through. I did worry about going through fences. It's one worry, but so we got a few things that we can concentrate on. Okay, well, that's the video. I might as well show you the other entrance. So this paddock here is another paddock which we can have another entry point. So we'll just call in, this is the other boundary. So it's 200 meters across and 400 meters deep. So this is the other entry, and that's another paddock which may be used depending on the consent from the neighbors, but that's all that's around us is just there, and that's as quiet as a mouse. So technically this is a paddock which we could do drifting in, and we've got drone activity, so we can do that as well. And this is the main headquarters. I'll just pull into this drive up here. This is the main headquarters, which we come up there, and we've got our sheds and people sign in and come through, and that's 30 k's there, and then private dwelling up this area here, and that's for, yeah, when I say private, it's so there's my boat, my 50 horse, and there's the car that I'll have a look at some stage to see what's really bricked on it. And there's the red one, and I need to change the wheels over for that. It's a bit overcast today. So thank you very much. Thank you very much. So we've done 32 minutes. There you go. It's 32 minutes to share Newell's Road news. And you heard the old MyVec on this baby run. And I'm finding that this cuts them up in about 11-minute intervals, and it takes me about all day, 24 hours to load a 4 gigabyte because of the slow internet here on the farm. So I'm quite happy to just do an hour video, and this is half an hour, and then just break it up. I find that my conversation through the process works fine, and I'm interested in subscriptions. So this has 2 subscriptions at the moment, so if you're interested, and comments and a like, so those are the important things. My channel needs to get up to 1,000, needs to get up to 40,000 viewing hours, so it's a bit of a hurdle to start with, but the effort that I'm putting in now is because I want to be a race car driver. When I was 3 years old, I used to push a little trolley at kindergarten, actually, 3 and 4 years old, and I wanted to go fast around this beautiful track that they had, but no one could push me or got tired or push me fast enough. So what I did is I ended up living my dream through other people by pushing them, and I would push them in all day, and next person, next person, next person. So they must have a wonderful time being pushed around, but that was a frustration. Whereas now I'm in the driver's seat, and as I said, I gave you some ideas about how to turn a little 4-cylinder or V6 little 1995 into a 700 horsepower supercar by doing not much other than just having a front and rear engine. Anyway, I'm quite excited about that, but I'm not going to get too excited, and I encourage anyone who wants to try it to do it. But just like Rob Dahm, who's got billet engines, and he got the 4-rotor with billets, and the New Zealanders were involved in that. There's another guy that's got a 4-rotor in a RX-7. He's used standard stuff with little paddle shifters, so he's also an interesting part of the community. So I'd like to invite those 2 gentlemen to come over. What I'd like you to do is just to come over to New Zealand, and then I just recommend you just buy up a car and just get a garage for a week and just start doing some stuff with it. And then come out to the farm, and then when you're finished, you either put them in the garage, donate them to Freedom Factory 500 Down Under, or sell them or raffle them.